today Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on Monday. Yep.
Sean, 9 years for you. How do you describe the leaning on the experience and the balance of, okay, new year, new team? How do you balance that?
Well, I think you use previous experiences. You lean on the people around you. I think I think what you feel really fortunate about is you're surrounded by great players, great coaches. I think you also understand that every single year is a new year. I think you use previous experiences to draw on some things that we want to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes, and then when you can try to replicate some success, you understand it's earned every single year. This league is so humbling. There's so much time in between, and really it's about, I love the individual pieces that we have. I love the coaches that we're working with, but how do we come together as a team? And then, you pray that you stay as healthy as you possibly can. But what that can't do is limit and inhibit your ability to work. We've got to come out here. We've got to push each other to be at our best in a smart way for when we open up against the Texans.
On that subject, with Devontae, will it just be full bore with him, or will there be some kind of, I don't want to call them off days, but lower key days?
Oh, yeah, there will be. Any of those guys that have accumulated or going into year 10 or more, which, happens to be all guys on the offensive side of the football, we'll be smart with. He needs to be able to get his work in, but in our 4-day work weeks, as far as those blocks are concerned, one of those, 4 days, we will be smart and kind of deload him, or however you want to look at it. And we think that's the smart thing for him to be able to peak at the right time. There'll be some other guys that fall under that, like Havenstein, like we talked about with Matthew, Tyler Higbee, guys like that.
Coach, it's day one, but how important is having a guy like Devontae for you guys to get to where you want to go?
Yeah, it's really important. It's important for us to be able to stack days, understand that, repetition is the mother of learning. We want to be able to establish a rapport, but thought he had a great first day. That was kind of in alignment with what he did in the spring and what the expectations are, but he's so receptive, he's so smart, he understands the intent of what we're trying to get done, and been really pleased, and he did an excellent job leading the way to start off.
And just to have that talent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn right, Timmy. What do you think?
In left tackle, it looked like you were making sure that DJ and Warren were comfortable there. Just how do you look at that plan and the approach to that position with Alaric limited right now?
Just kind of what you said, Stu. We are hopeful that Alaric will be ready to go. DJ, obviously, I thought, for a guy that got on a couple Zooms with Ryan Wendell, and you could feel that he's played a lot of football. Got great athleticism. He's got a great demeanor. Thought Warren did a nice job. So DJ got a handful of reps. Warren was able to play right and left. Got a bunch of reps. I was just talking to Ryan Wendell about that. So, Questenberry's another guy that we know can play. It was great to be able to have Big Rob out here at the tackle spot as well. So we're going to continue to identify. That's going to be a really important spot for us to be able to develop with an optimistic and a hopeful approach that, Alaric is going to continue to work and be ready whenever he gets cleared.
How have you felt the presence of Coleman today and going back to the spring?
It's huge. I think, the command, the communication, that's just such an important part. You've heard us talk about it before, that rapport between the center and the quarterback, and, how that echoes from inside out. You hear our guards communicating more. I think it'll be great. I have so much confidence in what Bo Lemmer's going to be for our football team down the line. I think for him to be able to see how Coleman runs the show will only make him better, and he'll get a chance to be able to play some guard as well. But it was awesome. I just, I love Coleman, and it was great to be able to get him back in general throughout the spring, and he picked up where he left off, and we'll look forward to getting the pads on. But he's a stud, and he represents everything that we're looking for.
We didn't see Matthew out here at all, working on the side or anything.
Yep.
What if anything, is he doing?
He was working with the training staff. To be out here on his feet, could he be out here? Yeah, but what's more beneficial for him? I probably should have been a little bit more specific. So working on the side, maybe working in the in the tents, things like that. So that was according to plan. I kind of misspoke yesterday as far as working out onto the side, but I think that's the best thing in terms of being able to strengthen, be as strong, sturdy, and feel as good as he can go, as good as he can be for the time that we get him back out here on Monday.
Couple more, guys. For your soreness he was dealing with in 22, but what did you learn from how you managed him and his elbow at that training?
Yeah, that's a totally different deal. That was unforeseen. And we didn't really know. I think we were kind of learning on the fly with that. This is something that he's dealt with before. The elbow, the different parts of the body, and Matthew would be better equipped to talk about it than I can, Sarah. But from my dialogue with him, talking with Reggie, talking with the other, doctors that he's, spoken with, we just felt like this was the best plan for him. You want to be as smart as possible, but this isn't anything like what the elbow was, as that became a real irritant. And I mean, he was really pushing through some stuff that only he can articulate that, but that was a different situation than this.
Sean, when it's day one, what this team has done in the years past of coming together over the course of the season, do you readdress that about, hey, it's new beginning, just to try to re-emphasize that togetherness?
Absolutely, and I believe it too, because right now, and you've heard us talk about it before, football is the greatest team sport that there is. We've got a bunch of individual pieces that have shown they're really capable football players, but it's the greatest team sport there is. Let's come together as a team. Let's understand the importance of the rapport between Coleman and Steve and Kevin Dotson, the importance of, when Matthew, or today, Jimmy throwing with Devontae and Puka and Tutu, Kyron being able to get comfortable pressing the blocks, Fisk and Verse rushing together, BY and Puna Ford being able to learn how to play together, Kobe Turner, Landman communicating on the back seven. So all those things are just so vital. I love the way that our coaches are so connected and able to communicate and then be able to listen to understand, so that we can connect with these guys and understand how to put them in the right spots. But it's absolutely a vital part, and if we're able to do that, I think a lot of good things have a chance to follow.
What are your thoughts on Steve?
Last one, guys.
I thought he did a nice job. I was really pleased with Jimmy. I thought he had great command. And then I thought Stetson came in and really managed the second offense really well. There was a lot of instances where he's going against the first group. I thought he was good with his decision making, showed some good movement. I thought he changed his arm slot and was able to get the ball where the coverage kind of dictated. And I was pleased with Stetson. Dave does an excellent job with our quarterbacks as a whole, and I thought both those guys did a nice job today. Okay? All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
I definitely would try to bring it out, though. I might lose a tire.
What are your takeaways first day of practice?
It's fun to be out here, and man, that guy number 17 is really good at football, and it's been fun to be back and to get a good duo block for our guy 2-3 back there, and then just to have everybody out there. It's been great to be back with Coleman out there, see guys like Big Rob back out there, and there's nothing better than getting a head bump from Tyler Higbee in the huddle.
Can you give us any insight on some things that maybe you've already learned from Devontae?
I would say his body control, and obviously his elusiveness at the line of scrimmage, but then also his awareness of the rotation of defenders and how to attack leverage on any route, not just specifically the quick game, everything down the field, and to be able to have the illusion of going the opposite direction where you're going when you want to go. And he does it great, and he explains it so well in the meeting room, so it makes it fun to watch tape and to be like, okay, how can I add some of these things to my toolbox?
One of the things Sean has done, I think, very well in the past couple of years is get this team to believe in themselves and to elevate its game based on everyone pulling the rope in the same direction. Does that start day one? Did that start earlier in the offseason? And is that accurate?
I'd say it is 100% accurate. I think it started, I'm not sure what the exact first day of OTAs was, but it started in phase one a long time ago. The ability to come in and have a clear message and for everybody to buy in, from the veterans like Devontae coming in from another place, but then also from the guys that have been here like Big Rob, Tyler Higbee, and obviously our guy 9, Matthew Stafford. So when you have great people who are bought in and they help deliver the message outside of it coming from Coach McVay's mouth, it makes it a lot easier for these young guys to be able to understand what it kind of looks like and then what it means to buy into that very early on.
When you see other young star receivers in the league receiving pretty big extensions, I know you're a year away or so from that, but do you think of it, does that catch your attention? Does it make you think at all about what might be ahead for you?
A little bit, but I try to do my best to stay completely present where my feet are. I mean, it's exciting to see guys to push the envelope for the wide receiver game, and especially when I know Garrett Wilson, I think, was one of the more recent ones. We played in the high school All-American game together, so to be like, man, that was somebody I was on the football field with at the same time, and to have congrats. We've played against them. But just to be able to see wide receivers excel and continue to push the envelope for guys in the league, it's super exciting for sure.
Let's talk about the growth of the room itself, being with some new guys, and specifically with Devontae and what he adds from a group standpoint.
I think a veteran leadership. I've asked Devontae to lead our position group, drills. There is a respect for him to come in saying, I don't want to push you out of the way or to try to take your spot and be like, oh, I should be up there number one. But it's something that I have a huge amount of respect for his game, and I'm blessed to be able to run great people like Coop and to have Devontae come in. So also when I was in the front, I was like, I'm trying to sprint as fast as I can so I can turn around and watch him. So I was like, hey, I think you'll make my job a little bit easier if you just go first. So today I was right there in the back, and I'm just standing like this because I'm gonna watch the tape again. But I'm like, there's nothing better than seeing it with my own two eyes. So
have you learned anything specific from him that maybe you didn't know going on?
I think, I mean, there's something in the release game. I know everybody across the league knows that Devontae Adams is one of the best at that. But I think his illusion of speed and lateral quickness is something that trying to add that to my game in the way that it fits my skill set. There's not I wouldn't say there's a lot of people that can replicate some of the things that he can do, but trying to understand the movement so I can add it to my game.
Jordan Whittington had a nice catch in double coverage today. I know he was working out with you some this offseason. What do you think about the offseason and spring this on?
He's consistent. Somebody who goes out there and is asking the right questions, and who's somebody who loves the game. When we're in the meeting rooms, he's asking the right questions. He's trying to figure it out. And I feel like, obviously we were training with Coop in the offseason as well, but just trusting himself. It's like one of the questions before. Coach McVay and the coaches that we have, Coach Nate Schulhouse, Rob Calabrese, and obviously Coach Yarbs, they do a great job of instilling confidence in our room, and you can see it when they step out there on the football field.
Some teams organize their locker room by position group. The Rams do it differently. What did you learn from the people around you last year, and what did you take from maybe being by them?
Last year, where was I in the locker room? I'm trying to think. I know I was next to Big Rob, and it wasn't my duty to bring Big Rob towels, but I always did it. It was just something. And then Killer Witherspoon was somebody I was with as well, somebody who's played a lot of football for different organizations, and it's always fun post-practice to come and be like, all right, what were you thinking right here when I lined up against you, and I doubled up at the line of scrimmage, and then you jabbed this way. So having a DB next to you is something that you don't really imagine in the locker room, but it's also really fun because you have some great conversations.
Couple more guys. It wasn't long ago that you were the young guy in this position. What are some of the things that you're taking into this training camp that you're looking to challenge yourself to be better at, and how you approach it differently than what you did the first year?
I think pre-practice preparation. I think that's something where it's like, man, being the young guy, I feel like I could wake up out of bed and get ready to roll and have no warm-ups. I maybe didn't run as fast as Tutu when I woke up out of bed, but I feel like I could get out and just get ready to go. So obviously in the recovery stage, but pre-practice preparation, so when I hit down the field, I know I can start rolling as soon as we get out here.
How do you feel physically compared to this time last year? And is there anything that you focused on in that area this offseason?
I feel great. I think this is we're still in just helmets, so I think this will probably be the best I feel throughout the rest of the year. So I enjoy these moments because they won't last too long, but I feel fantastic right now, ready to roll.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.